Hello and welcome. You are listening to the podcast about Exhibit F4, or the Phytosaurs. Please feel free to pause, rewind, or replay the podcast at any time. For your convenience, pictures matching the information in the podcast will also be displayed. Enjoy the podcast and the rest of your day at the Exhibit Museum.
Crikey!
What?
I said crikey!
And why did you say that?
Because we're looking at a crocodile head, aren't we? Steve Irwin used to say that all the time, you know? And look how long the snout on this crocodile is.
I guess I would understand that if this was actually a crocodile.
You mean it's not?
Nope.
Not even a little bit?
Well, technically speaking, crocodiles evolved after these guys were dead and gone. But they look similar because of a special process known as convergent evolution.
What? You lost me. What exactly are we looking at, and how do you know so much?
I know because I'm a U of M student, but that's beside the point. What we're looking at is a phytosaur, the ancient uncle of today's crocodiles.
So, how ancient is ancient?
Well, these guys were around during the Triassic period, which was about 250 million years ago. During that time, the continents were smushed together into one continent known as Pangaea, and the climate was much hotter. In fact, they liked to reside in the swampy areas of the Triassic, perfect places for the phytosaurs to hide and catch all their food.
Interesting. How did the phytosaur get its name?
Well, when the first phytosaur fossil was found, it was believed they had flat teeth, like herbivores, you know, animals that eat plants. So phytosaur means plant lizard.
Those teeth definitely do not look flat.
Turned out, the teeth were covered with petrified mud fillings, so they only looked flat. Unfortunately, the name plant lizard stuck, even though, as we can tell, phytosaurs are definitely meat lovers.
No kidding. But you said before that the phytosaurs are the uncle of today's crocodiles. Do you mean phytosaurs and crocodiles are not totally related?
Phytosaurs and crocodiles may look similar, but crocodiles actually evolved much later. Like I said before, they look alike because of convergent evolution.
What's that?
Well, take for example a bug and a bird. Bugs and birds both have wings, but are bugs and birds related?
Bugs eat birds. They're definitely not related.
True, they are not related. In other words, the wings on both birds and bugs develop separate from each other. Like the wings on bugs and birds, the traits that look the same on phytosaurs and crocodiles, the long snout, sharp teeth, and long flat body, develop separately from one another. These traits are called analogous traits.
That's so weird. It's almost too perfect, you know? How could they look so similar but not be related?
They're not completely the same.
They sure look similar.
Okay, you know what a crocodile looks like, right?
Of course I do.
Well, close your eyes and imagine them for a second. Their long, V-shaped snout, their nostrils at the tip, their teeth that interlock outside their jaw, eyes protruding from the top. Can you picture it?
Well, sure.
Now open your eyes. What do you notice that's different?
Not really anything. Oh! Oh, the nose! Whoa, look at the nose!
Yes, the nose is one of the most distinguishing characteristics of the phytosaur. Unlike crocodiles, the phytosaur's nose is located near the eyes, and in this case, even above them.
Whoa! Could you imagine having your nose above your eyes? On your forehead? That's so weird.
To us, yeah, that's weird, but to the phytosaur, it was a very useful characteristic. It allowed for the phytosaur to swim submerged completely underwater, with only the tip of its nose at the surface so it could breathe. Like crocodiles, phytosaur's stealth underwater was extremely important so that it could capture their prey.
I noticed something else. Is it just me, or does the snout look a little different too?
Nice catch! Yes, actually, compared to the crocodile, the phytosaur's snout is much thinner, like a pinpoint. Some species of phytosaur even had pointy-like fangs at the end of their snout that they could use to drag down prey, much like the crocodile's infamous death roll. Usually, the phytosaur's thinner mouth was adapted so that they could be the most adept at catching fish, but some phytosaurs, such as the Rutitodon, had wider jaws that made them able to snag larger fish and even some reptiles.
Wow. So how big were these guys? Like 16 feet long?
Pretty close. That's actually the average length of a typical saltwater crocodile. Phytosaurs were anything from 10 to 25 feet long. Interestingly enough, the phytosaurs were also better protected than crocodiles are today. You see, they had a special armored hide that includes scutes, or bony plates made of keratin, that protected their sensitive areas, including their neck and back.
That's amazing! But dangerous! I sure wouldn't want to be around when these guys were living.
They truly were the terrors of the deep, that's for sure.
Well, I've seen my fill. Let's go look over at the elephant.
You mean the mastodon?
The what?